We are joined by the Chief Executive of Coco Velvet International Fashion Management and Fashion Industry Management Consultant, Mr. Christopher Nathan. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning, Anka. Long time.
Right, it's been a minute. But every time you come, it is something significant. So we're going to jump straight into the conversation. Because first off, I need a little bit of a breakdown as to what exactly the says part of things is for. Everything else seems self-explanatory, but tell me what we're looking at.
All right, so it's SEZ, Special Economic Zone, and that's the government's new initiative to replace all the industrial centers, industrial parks all over Trinidad and Tobago.
So that speaks exactly to the notion of infrastructure where legalities are concerned and some sorts of parameters for operation. Tell me a little bit more.
All right, so the SEZs provide operators with lots of government incentives, tax incentives, duty-free concessions on imported raw materials, etc., which the garments industry and the fashion industry needs desperately. So the idea is to have a garment manufacturing district in East Port-of-Spain, where many of the talented seamstresses, tailors, mask makers, production technicians already live. And these operators, the garment factories, will receive these incentives to bring their cost of operations down, to make the garment industry in Trinidad and Tobago more competitive. Because as far back as 1920, when our first garment factory was opened by Mr. Nick Copeland, a Syrian immigrant, the corner of Park and Pembroke Street, Trinidad and Tobago has been the garment manufacturing hub of the Caribbean. And of course, in the 1960s, the fashion industry started to emerge with Eileen Douglas, Monica Dubarry Bishop, and Mei Ling leading the charge. And in fact, Eileen Bishop set up her garment factory on Production Avenue in Sealots, and she was exporting Trinidad and Tobago fashion to New York and London to find stores like Harrods in London and Macy's in New York. A lot of people didn't know that.
I didn't. Appreciating the history lesson there.
Right. So the idea is for our Trinidad and Tobago fashion industry to be transformed and transitioned from its cottage base, because right now it is a cottage-based industry where most of the designers, even the top designers like Millen, etc., are still operating from their home base. And in order for us to have a viable, economically viable industrial sector, it has to be done on a larger scale.
Right.
So the idea now is for us the government, first of all, to designate an area for garment manufacturing special economic zone, and then the investors will now set up their factories in the zone. And we are hoping that the first factory to be set up to become the flagship will be the government's factory, which was set up by Fashion TT and the University of Trinidad and Tobago, which is the Made 868 production facility, which is currently in Woodbrook on Rising Road at John D campus. We are also hoping that the Carnival industry will jump in on this, because Senator, the Honorable Paula Gopi-Scone, has made it quite clear that she and the Ministry of Trade and Industry is not at all happy with the amount of overseas manufacturing taking place for the Carnival industry. We feel that the Carnival industry can benefit from this garment manufacturing zone, because Carnival costumes can now be produced here in Trinidad and Tobago rather than outsourced. As you know, Carnival has now become more fashionable than the beads and feathers and backpacks. We're seeing mostly swimsuits on Monday for Monday wear, embellished, of course, and high-fashion swimsuits. Juve is normally a T-shirt and a jeans, and these can all be produced here in Trinidad and Tobago. And on Tuesday, for the Petit Mas, bands like K2K and Alliance and Lost Tribe are leading the charge with high fashion on the Baba Green for Carnival Tuesday. So these Carnival costumes can be produced in the garment manufacturing district, but with sustainability and circularity at the heart of the operations.
This is an incredible feat or an undertaking that I imagine there are partnerships and alliances that you have to look at. Will there be involvement, particularly from the Bureau of Standards, so that we have some sort of, measure or measurement to measure up to?
Excellent. Well, as it works out, I was engaged by the TTBS to chair a committee for the development of a national standard for sustainable garment manufacturing, which we've been working on for the past year. And that garment manufacturing standard will be launched at Styleweek Caribbean September 5th at the NAPA Auditorium. So after the standard is launched by the TTBS and the Ministry of Trade and Industry, it's a perfect opportunity to have a public consultation and a panel discussion on the feasibility of the garment district. So this interview really is to invite Carnival costume designers, mask makers, garment producers, fashion designers, and fashion students at UTT's Fashion Academy, MIC, and YTEP to come to the forum to discuss the feasibility of the garment district.
Christopher, is there going to be a cost then attached to attending or participating in this forum?
No, not at all. It's free of charge, and we are hoping that we get the sponsorship from corporate Trinidad and Tobago and the government ministries, as this standard will be the first of its kind in the world. So it places Trinidad and Tobago at the vanguard of the sustainable fashion movement and the circular economy. So we are looking to have as many people fill the NAPA auditorium, and the panel will include representatives from the Special Economic Zone Authority. We're hoping to have a representative from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, one from the Bureau of Standards, one from TTCSI, and of course some fashion designers, garment producers, and Carnival costume designers, and the band leaders, so that we can all discuss the opportunities and possibilities for a garment district in Port-of-Spain. There's another side to the proposal, which is to designate Woodbrook a fashion district. It is already a fashion district, but it needs to be officially done, positioned such, and marketed internationally. So when the cruise ships come in, the cruise ship passengers can walk across to Woodbrook, eat fine food, sample the entertainment, and also buy fashion goods on our Peter Avenue to take back to their loved ones.
Well, quite the undertaking in terms of your plans there. So, Christopher, the next time that we chat up, I hope it's sooner rather than later, so that we can get some sort of update on those intentions, not just for this particular initiative, but on Fashion Week as well, yeah?
Indeed.
Hopefully we'll talk
I
sooner.
always love to come back to TTT.
Best of luck to you. You are always welcome to do so. But again, thank you for giving us some insights and something to look forward to on the fashion front. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Talk to you.